after Shi Hao was crippled by the Supreme Being. His body, life force, and cultivation were almost completely destroyed. Although the Supreme Beings could keep him alive, restoring him through ordinary divine power was nearly impossible because everything had been reduced to nothing. Many believed the Jiyu clan elder had intentionally left Shi Hao in this state, forcing others to rely on priceless heavenly treasures to save him. They accused him of acting out of selfishness and even suspected the Jiyu clan held an old grudge against the immortal ancient stone clan. Some demanded that the Jiyu clan elder take responsibility, but he calmly insisted that Shi Hao could not be restored by normal means. Soon afterward, Shi Hao's primordial spirit became unstable and began to disperse. Even the Supreme Beings could barely keep it intact. An Emperor clan Supreme Being furiously condemned the Jiyu clan, and the situation became so serious that immortal beings issued a decree ordering that Shi Hao must be protected and revived. The Jiyu clan elder suggested sending Shi Hao to the immortal platform, a place capable of stabilizing and nourishing a damaged primordial spirit, although everyone disliked accepting his proposal because he had caused the disaster. They had no better choice. The immortal platform was a gigantic mountain shaped like a human head, covered with rare divine and holy medicines and containing astonishing spiritual essence. It was said to be the severed head of an immortal king from an ancient war. Its power could restore broken primordial spirits, rapidly strengthen cultivation, and had helped many famous experts achieve extraordinary accomplishments over countless years. However, its spiritual essence was nearly exhausted because immortal kings had once used it to heal themselves during the final era of Immortal Ancient, leaving only 8 or 9 cultivation spots each year. Despite the reluctance of the various clans to waste one of these precious opportunities on Shi Hao, he was sealed inside a frozen coffin and brought there under the authority of the immortal decree. As the group of 7 supreme beings approached the mountain, everyone was shocked because such an escort and decree indicated someone of immense importance. Upon reaching the summit, they found several young cultivators already training there, including a descendant of the Scarlet King. When he recognized Shi Hao inside the frozen coffin, killing intent immediately erupted from him, and he declared that he wanted to kill Huang. The appearance of an Emperor clan descendant further demonstrated how valuable the immortal platform was. Shi Hao's frozen coffin was placed upon the smooth stone platform at the mountain's center, the best location for nurturing the primordial spirit. There, his dried and withered soul gradually absorbed mysterious energy from the mountain. Complete natural laws surrounded him, tempering his primordial spirit as if he were beginning cultivation from the very start. Shi Hao realized this environment might allow him to rebuild an even stronger primordial spirit, and he was granted permission to remain there for an extended period. Although the Jiyu clan elder claimed his proposal had at least prevented Shi Hao's soul from scattering, the others insisted this alone was insufficient and demanded a complete recovery. They concluded that phoenix blood, an immortal liquid capable of true rebirth through flames, was likely the only way to fully restore him. The Jiyu clan elder agreed and suggested obtaining blood phoenix true blood from heaven-burning land. This proposal immediately angered everyone because the blood phoenix lineage was descended from the true phoenix, possessed power equal to the emperor clans, and was extremely dangerous. Having fallen from its former glory, the blood phoenix race had become violent and bloodthirsty, making any attempt to obtain its true blood extremely risky. Furthermore, very few blood phoenixes remained. When the Emperor clan Supreme Being told the Jiyu clan elder to retrieve the blood himself since it was his idea, the elder refused, claiming that the Jiyu clan had long-standing conflicts with the blood phoenix lineage and would never be welcomed. He suggested that informing the blood phoenixes about how the Jiyu clan had nearly killed Shi Hao might actually improve their chances of receiving true blood. In the end, several supreme beings traveled to heaven-burning land without the Jiyu clan elder, although they were frustrated that they personally had to seek help for Shi Hao. They had no alternative. Heaven-burning land was a vast crimson wasteland without vegetation. As they approached, blood-red flames erupted into the sky, filling the entire region with terrifying fire and great Tao symbols capable of burning everything. Even the supreme beings dared not enter recklessly. An Emperor clan Supreme Being repeatedly transmitted messages requesting an audience with the Blood Phoenix clan. After several attempts, the Silent Land finally responded. A massive creature, as large as a mountain, Slowly awakened, it opened its eyes, releasing brilliant scarlet light like two blood-red moons shining through the darkness. Within heaven-burning land, endless flames surged with overwhelming pressure that made even supreme beings feel suffocated. The terrifying Tao seemed capable of burning away the heavens and destroying all existence. They saw a massive blood phoenix with cold, intimidating eyes, completely different from the auspicious phoenixes of legend that once brought peace, prosperity, and blessings, standing atop the barren land. Its enormous body towered like a mountain, partially hidden within blazing flames, resembling a demonic god from hell ready to massacre all living beings. A supreme being respectfully apologized for disturbing it, but the blood phoenix coldly ordered them to leave. They realized the legendary blood phoenix had truly become a fallen immortal bird, ruthless and domineering. Despite their request to explain their purpose, they hesitated because asking directly for true phoenix blood from strangers was unreasonable. Since phoenix blood was among the most precious treasures in existence, famous for its power of rebirth through flames, finally, an Emperor clan supreme being admitted they wished to obtain some true blood. The blood phoenix rejected them, asking whether they believed they were close enough to deserve such a request. The supreme beings then explained Huang's severe injuries caused by the Jiyu clan and their need for phoenix blood to save him. Upon hearing that the Jiyu clan had crippled Huang, the blood phoenix sneered, revealing its grudge against the Jiyu clan. Flames erupted across heaven-burning land as it emerged fully from the ancient land, revealing its bright crimson body and prideful appearance as the perfect fallen blood phoenix. It declared that phoenix blood could not be endured by just anyone and ordered Huang to come personally if he wished to obtain it. The supreme beings explained that Huang was recovering on the immortal platform and could not travel. But the blood phoenix insisted that if Huang truly wished to live, he had to come himself. Although one supreme being was angered by its disrespectful attitude, the others restrained him, realizing provoking the blood phoenix could have disastrous consequences, especially if an ancient blood phoenix from the immortal ancient war still lived within heaven-burning land. After leaving, they discussed the danger of forcefully taking the blood before returning to Immortal Platform Mountain. Huang's primordial spirit had recovered considerably during the past few days, becoming bright and no longer deathly still, although his flesh remained largely unchanged because the immortal platform mainly nourished the soul. They decided to wait a few more days until his primordial spirit stabilized before bringing him to heaven-burning land. 2 days later, fearing the blood phoenix might change its mind, they transported Shi Hao's frozen coffin there while knowing they could still return to Immortal Platform if necessary. At the Immortal Platform, Scarlet King's descendant, Kai Minghong, coldly declared that if Huang recovered, he would personally kill him to avenge the capture of his relative Kai Pu by Meng Tianzheng outside Imperial Pass. As the supreme beings escorted Shi Hao to heaven-burning land, they lamented the irony of exhausting themselves to save an enemy because of the Jiyu clan elders' ruthless actions. Before they even announced their arrival, the blood phoenix appeared and ordered them to follow. Although Shi Hao remained motionless inside the frozen coffin, he had already regained consciousness and silently observed the fallen blood phoenix, wondering why its eyes were so cold despite standing within blazing flames. The blood phoenix led them 800 li deep into heaven-burning land to an enormous reddish-brown ring-shaped cliff surrounding the restricted core of the region. The flames there were far more terrifying, with crimson fire mixed with dark and even black flames carrying an undying aura so dangerous that even the supreme beings believed they could not enter. The blood phoenix declared that if Huang was destined for it, he could obtain the phoenix blood himself, otherwise, everyone would have to leave. Hanging upon the towering cliff were many transparent jars and bone cauldrons containing more than 20 portions of phoenix blood. The supreme beings were astonished, recognizing that these ancient containers held incomparably precious phoenix blood that had remained suspended there for an extremely long time. The blood phoenix explained that the opportunity depended on whether Shi Hao could successfully take away the phoenix blood. It reduced its enormous body to only 3 feet long and landed on a blazing cliff whose flames were so intense that ordinary cultivators would instantly be reduced to ashes. Despite the extreme heat, the cliffs did not melt, revealing their extraordinary nature. More than 20 ancient containers hung on the cliff, each preserving priceless blood phoenix true blood that had survived through endless ages. The blood phoenix revealed that behind the cliff lay the clan's sacred land. guarded by ancient experts, making it a forbidden area. After the Blood Phoenix clan settled there following an ancient war, countless powerful races, including undying kings, came to visit. Because many sought the clan's special blood, the Blood Phoenixes placed portions of their true blood on the cliff instead of personally gifting them. Those with sufficient fate could claim the blood themselves by touching the containers. The corrupted Blood Phoenix blood was no longer pure Phoenix blood, making it a supreme treasure for some races but deadly poison for others. If someone could not resonate with a container, giving them the blood would only waste it. Since Shi Hao could not move, the supreme beings carried his frozen jade coffin to the cliff. They were surprised that so much precious blood still remained after countless years. Confirming that only a limited number of people could inherit it, the Blood Phoenix assured them the blood had been perfectly sealed and had lost none of its divine essence. As the coffin approached, the intense flames nearly melted the precious frozen jade, forcing the supreme beings to reinforce it with their power. The Blood Phoenix recognized Shi Hao's crippled condition and criticized the Jiyu clan for cruelly destroying such a young genius. When the supreme beings asked how to determine which blood suited him, the Blood Phoenix instructed them to open the coffin and let Shi Hao touch the containers. Since opening the coffin would normally burn him alive, the Blood Phoenix inhaled all the flames surrounding the cliff, temporarily removing the danger. With the supreme beings guiding his hand, Shi Hao first touched a small ancient jar containing scarlet blood. The container immediately trembled, proving the blood accepted him. The Blood Phoenix confirmed he could use it. Curious about the differences among the blood, the supreme beings learned that each container came from different blood phoenixes and possessed varying levels of essence and power. Shi Hao requested to continue testing the remaining containers. He understood the foreign supreme beings were saving him only because they needed him alive to explain matters to the undying kings, not out of genuine goodwill. So he intended to choose the greatest possible benefit. The second container, a divine crystal holding a brilliant crimson drop of blood from an extraordinary blood phoenix, also resonated with him. Even the Blood Phoenix was surprised. Encouraged, the supreme beings allowed Shi Hao to continue testing every remaining vessel. One after another, all of the long-dormant blood responded to his touch. Some blood shone like molten gold. Some radiated five-colored brilliance resembling pure phoenix blood, while others released phoenix cries filled with chaotic energy, each displaying astonishing power. After examining every container, Shi Hao unexpectedly chose a small white bone vessel. The transparent bone held a single dark red drop of blood that was almost black, lacking dazzling light or obvious Dao aura and resembling corrupted blood. Despite its ordinary appearance, Shi Hao instinctively refused to release it after touching the container. When the Emperor Clan Supreme being asked about its origin, the Blood Phoenix merely replied that this blood was even more tyrannical than the others without revealing further details. Shi Hao immediately chose it. Although the Blood Phoenix appeared reluctant, it ultimately agreed and warned that he hoped the blood would not ultimately harm him. After countless ages, the white bone vessel was finally claimed. It contained only one extremely viscous drop of dark red blood, nearly black in color. The supreme beings escorted Shi Hao safely away from heaven-burning land and returned with him to Immortal Platform Mountain. The white bone vessel was placed inside the frozen coffin beside him, where he would undergo recovery and transformation to escape his crippled condition. Throughout the journey, no one dared interfere. On Immortal Platform Mountain, Scarlet King's descendant Kai Ming Hong remained quiet, knowing he had no chance to act. Watching Shi Hao prepare to recover with the help of Blood Phoenix true blood and the mountain's primordial spirit nourishing abilities, one supreme being admitted he felt unwilling. Shi Hao was an enemy descendant from Imperial Pass, yet they were helping him become stronger. Another supreme being replied indifferently that the Jiyu clan elder had been correct. They only needed to save Shi Hao to avoid being blamed by the undying kings. And once he recovered, they could simply kill him again. Shi Hao felt an intense sense of unease despite his successful recovery. His instincts warned him that he was still in great danger. Surrounded by blazing flames and flying true phoenix manifestations, he underwent phoenix rebirth. His body, previously destroyed by the Jiyu clan supreme being, his blood extracted, bones burned away, organs and flesh refined into medicinal paste, was reconstructed. His bones reformed, his flesh became stronger, and his vitality surged, restoring him beyond his previous peak. As the transformation continued, Perfect great Tao laws and flawless divine chains of order descended from the heavens, cleansing and tempering his body. These perfect laws were essential for restoring his cultivation and would provide immense future benefits. However, Shi Hao's instincts continued to reject the process, leaving him unable to understand the source of the danger. His body shone with brilliant light. Primal chaos energy surged, and his cultivation rapidly increased as the heavenly laws merged into him. The supreme beings, seeing that everything was progressing perfectly, removed the protection around his head so the transformation could be completed. His skull was reforged, immortal energy surged from between his brows, and the divine chains entered his head, pushing the rebirth to its highest stage. Even the supreme beings admired his extraordinary physique, believing few bodies could compare to it. As Shi Hao's Tao skills revived, the true phoenix blood finally began completely merging with his body. The blood's regenerative power continuously strengthened him. However, a strange dark light hidden within the phoenix blood suddenly erupted. Although the phoenix blood had originally been scarlet, it had become dark red because of this mysterious black power. The dark light separated from the blood and completely covered Shi Hao's body. The moment this happened, Shi Hao's body shook violently. The flawless heavenly laws and divine chains inside him suddenly shattered one after another. Realizing the crisis, the supreme beings immediately acted. The Emperor Clan Supreme Being quickly protected Shi Hao's head to prevent his skull from exploding as the shattered laws unleashed their destructive backlash. The situation rapidly worsened. The dark light caused the perfect Tao laws to collapse inside Shi Hao's body. His newly restored flesh was torn apart again, and blood burst from his body as it nearly disintegrated completely. Normally, the backlash from shattered perfect Tao laws should have instantly reduced him to a cloud of blood mist. He survived only because the phoenix blood had genuinely strengthened his body beforehand and because the supreme beings protected him with all their power. Every bone in Shi Hao's body cracked. His flesh trembled uncontrollably, and he endured unimaginable pain from the violent backlash of the heavenly laws. Remaining conscious throughout the ordeal, he finally realized that his earlier unease had been correct. The Emperor Clan Supreme Being concluded that the disaster was caused by the mysterious dark light. Another Supreme Being questioned whether the phoenix blood had ultimately become poison for Shi Hao. They determined that the true problem was not the phoenix blood itself but the dark light within it. According to ancient legends, the fallen blood phoenix's blood had originally been bright scarlet before coming into contact with an unknown force that filled it with dark light, permanently changing it. The Supreme Beings believed Shi Hao was now completely ruined. His condition was even worse than before he had received the phoenix blood. The perfect Tao laws and flawless divine chains had shattered inside his body, creating an overwhelming backlash that no one could survive. They could only preserve his primordial spirit by protecting his head, but they admitted that this could not last forever. The shattered laws continued ravaging Shi Hao's body, forcing the Supreme Beings to seal and suppress the destructive energy to prevent his complete annihilation. When everything finally settled, Shi Hao was unable to move. His body had become little more than a mass of blood and shattered flesh. His once powerful physique almost completely destroyed. After a long silence, the Supreme Beings accepted that their attempt to save Huang had failed. They believed he could die at any moment. In the end, one Supreme Being sighed and declared that only one option remained: travel to the Jiyu clan and use their yin-yang furnace. The prepared drop of fallen blood phoenix true blood was finally used to transform Shi Hao. The ritual took place on Immortal Platform Mountain, a sacred land left behind after the death of an unmatched immortal king where immortal kings had once recovered after the immortal ancient Great War. The Emperor Clan Supreme Beings decided to revive Shi Hao first and worry about his fate afterward. Hoping the undying kings only wanted information from him rather than intending to protect him, Kai Minghong and the younger generation were ordered to withdraw while the Supreme Beings carried out the dangerous transformation. Kai Minghong, whose Emperor Clan had recently lost a captured Supreme Being, secretly wished for Shi Hao's death. The white bone vessel was opened, releasing a single drop of dark red phoenix blood whose immense aura resembled a vast sea. The Supreme Beings were astonished by its value, sensing stars seemingly contained within it and realizing it could have granted extraordinary fortune to any descendant. Yet it was now being used on Shi Hao. The blood descended as countless crimson threads that wrapped around his body amid roaring wind, thunder, and lightning. They carefully protected Shi Hao, especially his head, fearing the overwhelming power would destroy his already ruined body before the blood could save him. The blood eventually entered his limbs and bones. Shi Hao's condition was still disastrous. His body had been pieced together after being destroyed. His Tao, magical power, and internal order had been completely erased, while his recovering primordial spirit still carried hidden injuries. Only a miraculous rebirth could restore him, making the Blood Phoenix's true blood one of the few treasures capable of reviving him through a phoenix-like rebirth. As soon as the blood entered his body, enormous lightning exploded around him, frightening even the supreme beings. But it remained outside instead of harming him. His body then bulged as overwhelming power surged through his blood like dragons swimming within him. While phoenix cries echoed, Shi Hao witnessed inherited memories carried by the blood, seeing the fallen blood phoenix slaughter countless enemies across heaven and earth, even killing true immortals during ancient times. The true blood immediately began repairing his body and nourishing his primordial spirit with mysterious energy, proving its miraculous healing power. His dead body gradually regained vitality as the blood tempered every part of him. Brilliant light illuminated his transparent body, allowing the supreme beings to observe the phoenix blood changing from dark red into bright scarlet before dark radiance emerged and covered his body. They realized the blood actually contained two components: scarlet blood and mysterious black radiance. Despite the dark energy, it caused no harm and instead accelerated Shi Hao's rebirth, rebuilding his body, Tao, and vitality from complete destruction, preparing to recreate everything he had lost in an even more perfect form. Fiery light then erupted from his body, engulfing him in blazing flames as the image of an ancient phoenix appeared. Soaring toward the heavens from the river of time, the scarlet blood and black radiance fused once more, making the flames even stronger until Shi Hao resembled a blazing furnace or volcano. Boundless life force emerged while perfect Tao laws descended from heaven, entering his body through divine chains of order. The Emperor Clan's supreme being recognized this as the true phenomenon of phoenix rebirth through flames and carefully observed the process. Gaining inspiration even as a supreme expert, Shi Hao's body rapidly recovered within the flames as complete great Tao laws merged into him. The fire spread across the entire immortal platform mountain, vividly demonstrating rebirth through flames while immense life force and complete Tao aura continuously grew. However, despite the extraordinary progress, Shi Hao's mind suddenly became tense. No one expected Shi Hao's reconstruction to fail at the final moment, leaving him crippled once again. This time, however, it was not caused intentionally by anyone but by the will of heaven itself. The Emperor Clan's supreme being speculated that Shi Hao's newly reconstructed body had become too powerful, provoking the world's rejection. Since Shi Hao came from the flawed world beyond Imperial Pass, completely rebuilding his true body in the perfect world would have eliminated his original flaws and potentially made him even stronger than before, giving him heaven-defying potential. Some supreme beings believed the world's great Tao deliberately prevented such an outcome. They concluded that Shi Hao's fate was exceptionally unfortunate, although no one blamed themselves because they had done everything possible, including obtaining phoenix blood to save him. If Shi Hao ultimately died, the responsibility would lie with Jiyu clan's earlier attack rather than with those trying to rescue him. The supreme beings hurried with Shi Hao to the mysterious Jiyu clan, hoping to use the legendary Yin-Yang furnace as a final attempt to save him. Jiyu clan was an unmatched race famous for its supreme arts of severing space with one hand and time with the other. Although its members were as rare as those of the emperor clans, every one of them was an extraordinary existence. Their ancient homeland consisted of endless mist-covered stone mountains filled with immense cosmic power, immortal mist, and traces of immortal Tao aura. Upon reaching Jiyu clan's entrance, they found Jiyu Yi, the supreme being who had originally crippled Shi Hao, already waiting for them. Jiyu Yi admitted that he had expected their arrival because his clan possessed extraordinary sensitivity toward events connected to themselves. He denied arranging everything intentionally but explained that he had sensed the future beforehand. After carefully examining Shi Hao's condition and hearing the full story, Jiyu Yi stated that if Shi Hao had successfully rebuilt his body in this perfect world, he truly would have defied heaven. Since the world beyond Imperial Pass was flawed, rebuilding a flawless body here would inevitably provoke a powerful backlash. He insisted such a result was natural because correcting innate flaws so easily would violate reality itself. Jiu Yi declared that passing through the yin-yang furnace was unavoidable and might ultimately allow Shi Hao to refine an unmatched body despite all his suffering. Others replied that they did not seek an invincible body, only Shi Hao's recovery with perhaps a slight improvement over his previous strength. Jiu Yi admitted that creating such a supreme body would require an enormous price and was not worth paying for someone outside Jiu clan. Jiu Yi explained that even if Shi Hao could be saved, the process would be extremely slow and required numerous rare heavenly materials, precious medicines, and treasures. Shi Hao's injuries were too severe for ordinary methods, making the yin-yang furnace the only possible solution. He calmly insisted that every step had to be handled carefully. Some supreme beings suspected Jiu Yi of deliberately delaying matters and questioned his intentions. Jiu Yi responded coldly that if they doubted him, they were free to take Shi Hao away. However, they had no alternative because only Jiu clan possessed the means to save him. News of Shi Hao's condition quickly spread throughout the foreign realm. Since rare treasures had to be gathered, his failed reconstruction could no longer remain secret. Many people had already witnessed his collapse at War God Academy. Some hostile clans celebrated Shi Hao's downfall, while others traveled to Jiu clan's territory either to witness his death or to observe the rescue attempt. Many believed that with even the natural laws and order inside his body shattered, Shi Hao had no hope of recovering. Several days later, the required rare medicines were finally collected through the combined efforts of numerous supreme beings. During this time, many powerful experts, including supreme beings and undying beings, arrived at Jiu clan. Secret negotiations also took place. An emperor clan supreme being proposed that his grandson should be refined together with Shi Hao inside the yin-yang furnace's yin section. He offered precious medicines capable of helping Shi Hao in exchange for this opportunity. Jiu Yi firmly rejected the request, explaining that the yin furnace had already been reserved for a Jiu clan descendant and could not be given to outsiders. Other supreme beings overheard the discussion and realized they were competing for an extraordinary opportunity. The Emperor Clan Supreme being exposed the truth, accusing Jiu clan of concealing its real intentions. Since Shi Hao's reconstruction had shattered countless natural laws and divine chains of order inside his body, refining him in the yin-yang furnace would release priceless opportunities. Shi Hao's ruined body still contained these broken laws only because great experts had sealed his body to prevent complete destruction. Anyone refined alongside him might obtain tremendous benefits from those fragments of natural law. Some supreme beings immediately suspected that Jiu Yi had foreseen this outcome from the very beginning and deliberately arranged everything. But Jiu Yi again denied the accusation. Finally, the true yin-yang furnace was brought to a special stone valley filled with chaotic energy and genuine immortal flames. Under the watch of many powerful experts, Jiu Yi ordered all the prepared medicines to be thrown into the furnace. Shi Hao had already been placed inside, and the refinement process officially began.